Welcome, everybody, to this edition of the Cloverdale Colts U18A2 Highlights Show. Tonight, we'll be looking at highlights from the game on Friday, November 15th, where the Colts took on the team from North Delta, the North Delta A1 team, here in the Cloverdale Arena. This is the second game of the regular season for the Colts after having lost their first game 3-1 to Port Moody. So they'll be looking to pick up their first win of the regular season here tonight. You see the Colts warming up in their home jerseys, the blue jerseys with the white and red trim. The North Delta team at the other end of the arena will be in their road jerseys, white jerseys with yellow and red trim. A few lineup notes today here for the Colts. They're down to 4 defensemen for this game, with Bryson Keyworth out with an injury sustained at practice this week, and Patrick Montzellic also unavailable to play tonight, so that will take them down to just 4D. There will also be 1 forward out of the lineup tonight, as Mitchell Anderson sustained a concussion in the Abbotsford tournament the previous weekend, so the Colts will be playing with 10 forwards here tonight. As you see Logan approaching the net there, Logan will be getting the start in net tonight for the Colts. So let's head to the first period highlights. We start this one off with the Colts on the attack here in the offensive zone. Zach throws it towards the net there, and there's a battle in front of the net just on the edge of your screen there as the camera pans over. So a 2-person battle in front there, but the Colts are unable to corral it and put it into the net. Then we see a battle along the wall here. Jesse comes in, knocks that player down, and then as Jackson's trying to change there, he almost pushes that North Delta player into the open door, into the Colts bench there. A little bit later, here's a point shot by Orson there. Jordan comes through the middle there, can't get the rebound. And finally, here's a chance for North Delta. They're coming in 2-on-1. They come down the left side there, shot, and that pass is fortunate that it doesn't hit Logan's backside there on the way through and go into the net. There we see Jackson tipping a point shot by Orson that looks very familiar to that highlight we saw a little bit before. And then there's this bad turnover by North Delta there. They pass it right to Arjun. He gets a good shot on net. The goalie makes the save. Here's North Delta coming back the other way. They dump that puck in low. Linden gets it there, and he rings it hard around the wall. It gets missed by that North Delta defenseman pinching in there. So Zach's going to jump on it there, come down the right side, cut back to the middle, take the shot up high over the goalie's glove there. And that's going to be the opening goal of the game. The Colts having a great start to this game, and now they're up 1-0 there on that goal by Zach. And the Colts are going to look to keep the momentum going here. They're working down low in the offensive zone. That puck comes back to Tyler there. He misplays it, and the North Delta player does well to jump on that opportunity and speed down the ice there so fast that our cameraman can't keep up to it. They score on that breakaway there to restore the game back level. It's now 1-1. And North Delta's not done yet. Here we see them working down low. They're going to make that pass to the high slot to the right side defender that had snuck away from their check. And they cruise into the high slot there and risk that one home past Logan. And quickly the lead the Colts had is erased, and they're down 2-1. The Colts do get this chance with Arjun at the side of the net there to try to tie it back up, but the goalie does well to hold the post and keep the puck out. So that leads to this face-off just outside the Colts zone here, and as they try to move it out, it gets pushed back to their own end, and then so Karn's going to try to put that up the middle to 2 players that were open there, but he fans on it and it gets turned over, and Trevor's forced to take that tripping penalty and send North Delta to the power play. And they're going to get this chance where the 2 defensemen there end up playing the puck together and leaving the middle of the ice open, and so North Delta gets a 2-on-0, but luckily Logan is there to make the save. And Trevor's penalty is now over, but the North Delta team is still on the attack here. There's the player. He puts that out to the point, and as he walks to the middle, he takes a shot, and Linden is trying to block the shot there, but instead he inadvertently tips it past Logan, and so an own goal there by the Colts. And now all of a sudden it's 3-1 for North Delta after the Colts had such a promising start. And here comes North Delta again. They chip the puck down the left side there, throw it in front. The player sweeps at it, and there's another try from the far side, a 4th chance, and eventually the 5th one there gets put past Logan. He could only make 3 or 4 saves, and no help from the Colts players there getting that loose puck. And as you can see, Coach Strang is going to show some mercy on Logan here and pull him from the game and send Max in there in the hopes that will shake the Colts up here to play some better hockey going forward. But that's not going to have an immediate effect. Here we see North Delta working on it down low. They throw it wildly out front, and Max does not see it go through him there out to the player on the point. Arjun also doesn't see it coming, so that player just casually deposits it into the empty net, and it's 5-1 going into the second period. The Colts looking to have a strong start to the period, just like they did the first. Here's a good chance, 2-on-1. Zach coming down the side there, gets a shot off. The goalie makes the save, but this line keeps coming. Here's Zach again down the left side along the wall. Tries putting the puck to the middle, goes to Jesse behind the net, and he puts it quickly out front to Seth. Gets a good shot off, but the goalie makes a save there with the blocker. This line still on the ice, still coming here. Here's a shot by Jesse that bounces into the corner. He's going to push it down low to Zach, and again out front, eventually here to Seth. And he's going to try and walk across there and open the goalie up and put it 5-hole. But the goalie again makes a save, and it goes back behind the net. Now we're going to see a scrum back there. It's like an old school rugby scrum, trying to get the puck out of there. And two players are going to get tied up there, the North Delta player and Jesse. And Jesse's going to reach across the top of him there and pull him back a bit. And the referee, who is right there, is going to deem that to be an interference penalty. Going to send the Colts to the penalty kill here. Here's North Delta doing a nice exchange at the point there and skating in, taking the shot off there, blocked by Linden to the corner. So North Delta retains possession, and they're going to find that player at the side of the net. He's going to push it towards the side there as Max goes to his right, but he comes back with the left hand there and gloves it out of the air and kills that play. We're going to see some more penalties here. Here we see the North Delta player rake Riley across the face and knock him down there, and then Jesse comes in and knocks that player down. However, the referee gives the penalty to Zach for some reason there, but it's still even up the coincidentals. And that's going to spark the Colts. Here we see Arjun down low. He pushes that puck out to Orson, who is coming in nicely, wrists it hard there from the ringette line and goes up high, off the crossbar, down into the net there. And the Colts have some life here. Orson gets that goal to make the score now 5-2 for North Delta. And now good news for the Colts here, as Orson is going to contribute by drawing a penalty here as he's fighting for that loose puck there just off to the side of the screen. As they re-enter the screen there, the ref puts her hand up there. It looked like maybe Orson was going to get the penalty, but instead North Delta gets a penalty there for holding the stick. So here we see the Colts on the power play. Good shot by Arjun there, and there's an opportunity at the back door there they couldn't capitalize on. They're going to keep working at it. It's going to come out front there, try to move to the backhand and slide that in, but the goalie sticks the leg out there and makes the save, and Colts really threatening to get back into this game here. But as they continue on the power play, the puck comes across the seam there to Arjun, who misplays it there at the point, and that's going to result in a 2-on-1 the other way for North Delta. Well played by the defenseman there. They do get a shot off, but Max is there to turn it to the corner. North Delta back on the attack here. They put the puck to the side there, and it bounces out front to that player alone in front. He hits the post there on the empty net. Premature celebration as that does not go in, and the score remains 5-2. But not for long. Delta's working off screen there. They make the quick pass to the player out front who rips it high over the blocker. And now it's 6-2 for North Delta as they stretch this lead to 4 with about 5 minutes left on the clock in the second period there, you can see on the screen. Colts aren't giving up though. Here you see some put pressure on the left side there, and Jesse turns it over and goes right to the net there, tries to backhand it in on the breakaway there, semi-breakaway from the sidewall, but the goalie forces him to go wide. Delta gets their own semi-breakaway of their own, and a big toe save from Max there as that player got in behind the D, tried cutting across, but Max makes the big save. And they're going to trade breakaways end-to-end here. Here's another chance for Jesse. He comes in alone, tries to go high blocker on this one, but the goalie turns it aside. Colts trying to get one here as the period winds down. A nice tip there by Noah off the Karn shot from the point, but the goalie does make the save and send us to the third period, 6-2. And this period's going to have a bit of an ugly start. Here we see Zach coming across the line there, gets clipped by that player with that check. The referee deems it to be a clean check, although it was close to kneeing, very close anyway. And you see Jesse chasing after the player that did the hit, slashing them in the back of the leg. You see the reaction by the linesman that comes running over there. No reaction from the referee. The linesman's going to use the rarely used power to call a penalty there that the referee did not detect. And so that's going to be a 4-minute for spearing on Jesse, although hard to find a spear in that play. So an unfortunate call against the Colts there as they're trying to come back. Now they have to kill a 4-minute penalty. And they do so right here. There's a nice save by Max on that play that came across to the back door. And there's another chance right out front. And he's going to get a blocker down on that. And then he's going to stick that leg hard on the ice there and prevent the Delta player from digging it out and putting it into the empty net. North Delta continues on the power play here, working the top of the umbrella. The Colts players back off enough there that player can take a big slap shot there, but make the save, and then the puck is going to get pushed up here to Seth. He's on the left side here. We're going to catch up to him here eventually. He's going to put that puck towards the net. The rebound comes out, but there are 3 Delta players there to make sure that Jordan doesn't get a hold of it. They also took a penalty as well, as just before that they had hauled Jordan down on his way to the net. Keep an eye here on Zach on the left side there. He takes a shove from that player in the back, and that sends him awkwardly into the defender, and their shins collide there. A bit of an ugly collision there as that injures the North Delta player. Could probably be considered a kneeing penalty there, although unintentional due to that shove in the back, I believe. But see, here comes the linesman in again. We saw this a little bit earlier. See that linesman turn around and head off towards the referee. They're going to confer. And despite rarely seeing the linesman call a penalty, we are going to see them do it for a second time in this game, as they're going to award a 4-minute kneeing penalty, not to Zach though, but to Jesse, who was not involved in that play. So they, not only do they miss the call there, the referee missed the call, the linesman calls it on the wrong player. And there you see Jesse heading to the box, proclaiming his innocence, as you saw on the tape. He wasn't involved in that. And during that conversation there, he's going to say something that the referee doesn't like, and the referee is going to decide that he deserves a 10-minute penalty for the words he used there in the penalty box. So if we're keeping track, that's 18 minutes in penalties assessed to Jesse there via the linesman, which is something very rare in the game. The Colts do manage to kill that 4-minute power play, and they're going to go back to work here. Here we see Noah coming down and laying the shoulder into that North Delta player. A good clean check there. No penalties called by the linesman on that one. And then an ugly end as the game winds down here. That player hits Tyler well after the whistle had gone, after he'd flicked it out over the glass there. And Karn does a good job to come in and lay that player down and protect his teammate, as the game had pretty much been over there. It was unnecessary to throw that check there at the end of the game. So that's the end there. It's unfortunately a 6-2 loss for the Colts. Let's have a look at the stats for the game there. You see Zach and Orson with the goals, Lyndon Arjun with the assists on the game. Notable Trevor there as the only positive player in the game. And Max doing well after coming in cold at the end of the first period. With that, we can have a look at the season-to-date stats here. You see, with that goal by Zach today, he tied Seth for the team lead in goals with 17. Karn continues to lead the team in plus-minus with a plus 20, despite a rough outing tonight there with a couple of turnovers in that game. So let's have a look at the upcoming schedule for the Colts next week. There's a busy week again next week. 3 games. Home and home with Whistler, at home on the Monday night, on the road on Tuesday, and then they're back home in their home ice lot taking the Richmond A1 team on next Friday night. And let's have a look at the Flight 2 standings now to see how those teams are doing. There you see Whistler just above Cloverdale in the standings there, having played less games. So that's their next opponent. And then up at the top of the table, Richmond there, the 2-1 record so far, that will be the opponent next Friday. So a good chance for maybe the Colts to get their first win in those Whistler games. And you'll be able to check that out next week when those games happen, when we bring you the highlights from those games. See you then, folks.